Welcome to Pulse episode 47. In this episode we're going to take a look at the Diablo and World of Warcraft news of the past few days. To mix things up a little, I thought I'd start with the Diablo news this time around. We're going to have a look at a few more beta rumors floating around. Max Schaefer talks about Torchlight and Diablo 3. We have a look at health globes and we take a look at dyes, items matching each other and runes. All that and more. In the World of Warcraft news, love is in the air, as you probably all know. Patch 4.0.6 is in fact coming this week. There's quite a lot of talk about rated battlegrounds and conquest points, and obviously much more. So before heading on over to the Diablo news, there's one little piece of general Blizzard related news that I thought I'd mention before that. What could be better than spending 2 days checking out the latest versions of Blizzard games, watching esports tournaments, and chatting with developers alongside a few thousand of your closest friends? Apparently Blizzard couldn't think of anything either, so they're deciding to bring back BlizzCon in 2011. That's right, BlizzCon will be returning to the Anaheim Convention Center on Friday, October 21 through Saturday, October 22, and will feature an exciting mix of discussion panels, tournaments, hands-on gameplay, contests, and much more. If you're interested in attending, in which case I'll be very jealous, or purchasing one of those virtual tickets, I guess you'll probably want to check the announcement press release out below, and keep an eye on BlizzCon.com in the coming months for further details, including ticket information. Oh man, I really can't wait. Now to find someone to fly me over there. Okay, so enough of that, let's head on over to the Diablo news. Ah yes, even more beta release or reveal rumors have been floating around recently. Sure, there's very little reason to believe that these rumors will come true, but hey, we can dream. So a fan recently reminded us that in 2010, during Blizzard's fourth quarter report, we actually had the StarCraft 2 beta announced. That report happened on February the 9th, and as you all probably know, we are currently fast approaching that date. So sure, this may well be silly speculation, but it is fun, isn't it? @Diablo did reply to the fan's question, quite nonchalantly I might add, but didn't confirm or deny anything. The guys over at Diablo INC Gamers say we shouldn't get our hopes up at all, and sadly, they're probably right. But if you want to get sucked into the theories, speculation, and intrigue of guessing when the beta will in fact start, I guess you better check the posts out below. I guess you should also keep checking back here sometime after the 9th to see if that did or didn't happen. Lastly, in our beta related news, another concerned fan asked @Diablo whether we would be sent an email if we were accepted into the closed beta. @Diablo replied by saying that it's probably best to just keep an eye on all the official Blizzard sites because they will most definitely announce it there. They also just added that we should all be very wary of Diablo related scam emails. Gamasutra has posted a nice interview with Torchlight CEO Max Schaefer, and for those of you that didn't know, he was one of the original creators of Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. Max does mention Diablo 3 during the interview, and that is obviously the reason I mentioned this. He says that everyone at Runic Games is really looking forward to it and can't wait to play it when it's finally released. And no, that wasn't a hidden jab at the time it's taken to release it. Not as far as I know at least. The following quote sounds like something many would say. "We kind of can't wait for D3 to come out. It'll delay whatever we're working on for at least a month when it does." A big focus of the interview was, obviously, the Torchlight series of games and the progress Runic Games is making with them. If you didn't know, they're currently in the process of converting the original Torchlight and setting it up for the Xbox Live Arcade. There's a great bunch of interesting information in the interview about how they had to pretty much redo the entire game's control system and interface to make it work and feel right on the Xbox. For us Diablo fans, the interview is great for two reasons. Firstly, we're all no doubt waiting for the next installment of Torchlight, and, well, playing it on our consoles might well be fun too. Secondly, it's great to hear what the difficulties and problems are with making games like this for consoles because, as we all also know, Diablo 3 is set to be released on the consoles too. So whether you're interested in Torchlight for consoles, Torchlight 2, or Diablo 3, this read will probably get you even more excited. Check it out below. @Diablo answered a question last week about health globes. Does your entire party see it when it drops? The short answer was pretty much already known by us, and it is in fact yes. But Diablo INC gamers took this as a cue to reintroduce a bit of knowledge that we've had for quite some time about these most vital of orbs. Get it? Bah! When picked up, health globes heal your entire party, their pets, and I assume even henchmen. That obviously increases their value by quite a bit in the battle arena, and something tells me players will be timing those spawns as accurately as they possibly can. So if you want to read a little bit more about health globes, check the Diablo wiki page linked below or read the post over at Diablo INC Gamers. Bashiok recently spoke to a fan in quite a bit of detail about items, the way they look, the way we can customize them, sets, and armor dyes. In short, Bashiok told us that they don't want players looking like clowns. Bright colors and totally random looks on gear are not part of what Diablo is. Yes, let's leave that to the earlier World of Warcraft expansions. He said that there may well be many colors to dye your armor, but they will only change said armor in a very measured and specifically tailored way. Next up, he spoke about the fact that you will never be truly unique. Sure, there's a lot of customization and there are a lot of different items, but in the end, there will be millions of players playing the game, and the chances are good that someone out there will have the same class with the same items and or colors. That's where the dyes and even runes come in, among other things, to visually distinguish individuals. It would be awesome to have unlimited amounts of art going into the game, but there has to be a line somewhere. Hopefully Blizzard can keep that line moving every once in a while though. Lastly, Bashiok was asked how runes can alter your character's appearance. So, assuming you're not standing around and just admiring each other all day, you'll be out killing stuff, since each rune alters each ability in a visual and usually mechanical way. Even if you and another wizard look exactly alike, it's pretty unlikely that you'll have the same skills chosen, but if you do, you're even less likely to have the same runes socketed. That's a pretty good answer if you ask me, and now I really can't wait to get testing those runes. So if you want to read those full and fairly interesting interactions, you can do so below. Because I absolutely love talking about Diablo and everything surrounding it, I thought I would just mention that there's a ton of cool fan art up in the latest fan art watch posts over at Diablo INC Gamers. Fan art watch number 71 has something for nearly everyone: monks, druids, witch doctors, and assassins. Fan art watch 72, on the other hand, is slightly more focused and gives us a weekend's worth of barbarian fan art. Definitely worth checking out for all you Diablo fans out there. You can see my favorite of this week on the screen right now. Let's head on over to the Diablo 3 smalls. There are quite a few less smalls than last week, but there's still quite a bit of interesting information here. Will players start off with the talisman, or is it an artifact item they have to gain, like the salvage box? The answer to that is that you do not start the game with the talisman. Will there be any differences in UI, other than the skills/resources, across the 5 classes? The answer to that is that the inventory paper doll section is different for every class and gender. It's fairly simple though, no big differences. Good morning, any news on the male demon hunter? Morning, he's coming along. So there's a chance we might see him this month? Strong emphasis on might? Well, the answer to that is that nothing's impossible. That's it for the Diablo news. Let's head on over to the World of Warcraft news. Something is in the air in the major cities of Azeroth. Some call it love, and some just call it friendship and admiration. Whichever it is, many gods and townsfolk now spend their days giving and receiving tokens and gifts from other amorous citizens. The more skeptical, however, are suspicious of the strange love sickness clouding the hearts of so many. There you have it, don't miss the exciting gift exchange and worldwide popularity contest that hit Azeroth this past Sunday. Love is indeed in the air. There's a lot to see and somehow even more to do with both Love is in the Air and the Lunar Festival events running. So as usual, if you don't want to miss a single piece of the action, and if you absolutely need all those achievements, then you'll just have to check the links below for a couple of amazingly in-depth guides, courtesy of Wowhead and WoW Insider. Also, don't forget to queue for that seasonal boss, Apothecary Hummel. Enjoy! If you, as quite a few others, have been experiencing problems while trying to do those Love is in the Air achievements, running that boss, or doing some of the quests, well, Blizzard has the answers. It seems like Deathwing did a bit of a number on the entire festival when he shattered all of Azeroth. Blizzard Bluepost and Nafadne has offered some feedback and workarounds for known issues affecting this year's event. So if the problems have been plaguing your experience of this world event, if you want to know what to expect, or if you just want to read a quick Q&A about all these issues and workarounds, then I guess you just have to check the post below. Good luck. There's a new post up on the World of Warcraft community site called Conquest Points, breaking skulls and buying stuff. And, well, I guess you don't really need me to tell you what it's all about, but I'll do it anyway. It pretty much just covers all the various ways you can earn those all-important Conquest Points and, once you get them, what you can spend them on. The post goes over all of it in quite a lot of detail, even giving you things like the weekly Conquest Point cap and how it increases with your team rating. So if you're an avid PvPer that still doesn't quite understand the inner workings, or you're about to hit level 85 and just want to know what to expect, then you'll probably want to check this one out. See the full post below. It is beginning to look more and more like patch 4.0.6 will be hitting the live servers during the planned maintenance this week. Yes, there's always that random chance that things don't turn out the way Blizzard planned it, but it looks like a pretty sure thing. Anyway, there are lots of changes, improvements and fixes that you can brush up on in the meantime. One thing I didn't realize before was it seems like ink traders are being added to Stormwind and Orgrimmar in 4.0.6. Also, get ready Worgen and Troll Druids, those new forms will be coming out of this patch too. That is in fact great news, so if you want to check the full patch notes out, you can do that below, and the patch seems to be around 150 megs big, so that's a plus too. Keep checking back here for more patch 4.0.6 related news. In some more PvP related news, Blizzard are in the process of developing a hotfix that they want to push out before the next maintenance that'll change all 15 vs 15 rated battleground weeks into 10 vs 10 weeks. Apparently after looking at the participation numbers, the 10v10 battleground weeks have been far and away more popular than the 15 vs 15 weeks. The difference in organizational requirements and the battleground map popularity have been big factors that have led to the 10 vs 10 weeks being a lot more popular. So by making this change and supporting the popular opinion, Blizzard hope to encourage even more players and teams to participate, as they won't have to wait out every other week or struggle to beef up to 15 players to match the requirements. Lastly, Blizzard mentioned that they also have plans to adapt the battleground maps in the future to work in the 10-player bracket to increase the variety of the maps available. I personally think that's a great idea and fits beautifully with the whole 10-man raiding guild thing too. Bigger maps working on 10 vs 10? Yes please. So if you were a bit reluctant to participate in those rated battlegrounds till now, this may well be what you were waiting for. Check the official announcement below, and happy PvPing. Blizzard is taking yet another step towards improving the quality of random pickup groups and hopes to increase their success rate, specifically in heroic dungeons, with their latest plan to increase the effect of the luck of the draw buff. In Ghostcrawler's latest blog, he discusses the issue that they had with the system quite in-depthly. It seems like the buff, which gets applied whenever you have a random player in your dungeon finder group, wasn't even working properly in Cataclysm dungeons. As you can expect, this caused some of those encounters in the dungeons to be harder than Blizzard first intended for pickup groups. Lucky for us that do in fact do those pugs, this has now been corrected, and the buff will now increase 5% per random player, up to a maximum of 15% increase in damage, healing and health. So while this won't fix the fact that, well, let's face it, sometimes you just get bad groups, it will indeed help out a little. As usual, the blog was ended with quite a strange line. Greg, Ghostcrawler Street, is the lead systems designer for World of Warcraft and was attacked by a coati as a child. True story. Read the full thing below. Enjoy. You extinguished Ragnaros' flame within the fiery core of Blackrock Mountains. Illidan ran scurrying from the Black Temple when he heard you approaching. The Lich King lies trapped in the frozen throne thanks to your efforts. Now Deathwing presents the greatest challenge Azeroth has ever faced. Are you up to the task? Jinx presents the World of Warcraft t-shirt design contest. They are calling upon us, the champions of Azeroth, to muster our artistic skills and design the next wave of tees in the Jinx World of Warcraft collection. Will you declare your fealty to the Alliance, or will your design scream for the Horde? Yes indeed, this is your chance to design some epic loot that all your guildmates will be wearing. If you have a good idea that has yet to be put to paper, or an old image you feel would look good on your chest, you better get working and send your entry in as soon as you possibly can. To submit your t-shirt design concept for judging by the World of Warcraft and Jinx creative teams, download the design kit, create your design using the template, and click submit to upload your work. Good luck and happy crafting. The Blizzard fan art section has been updated with 4 new pieces of fan art set within the Warcraft universe, and I gotta say some of these are pretty amazing. I only wish there were wallpaper versions of these available for download somewhere out there. Anyway, enjoy, and remember to check the full-size images out below. And yes, as usual, you can see my favorite of the new entries on the screen right now. For a little more visual stimulation, you can check out the latest of the comics from the guys over at Nerf Now, titled Skill vs Gear, and oh, does it ring true. It definitely made me chuckle. So if you like this one, check the rest of their comics and other goodies out on their site. You won't be disappointed. Let's head on over to the World of Warcraft Smalls. The next in the new player tips posts are out. This one is titled Don't Fear the Reaper and is pretty much PvP focused. There's an interesting poll up on the World of Warcraft community site titled If It's Red, It's Dead, and once again, PvP related. I found an interesting thread on the World of Warcraft official forums called What Would Deathwing's Facebook Status Be? And as you can imagine, quite a few interesting replies there. Netharia has addressed some questions about the community manager process. You can check that out via WoW Insider. And Netharia also has a guide at getting the most out of the forums, once again from WoW Insider. The guys over at Wowhead bid a fond farewell to Malgain. You can check the Nefarian Heroic World 2nd kill out by Method, Al-Akir Heroic World 2nd kill by Paragon, and a nice guide from OMFG Kata for Cho'Gall on normal difficulty. The latest weekly Marmot can also be found below, along with the latest PST episodes. We have quite a few interesting topics that were discussed by the World of Warcraft Blues this week, on real-life threats, on bandaging in raids, on gem slots being added to epic craftables, on why the Tundra Mammoth doesn't sell level 85 food or water, on PvP balance, or apparent lack thereof, on improving the looking for group dungeon queues, on the linear Cataclysm leveling content, on potential Tolbarad changes, and lastly on improving Outland leveling, which is something that a lot of people want to see. You can find all those blue posts below, and they're all courtesy of Wowhead. That's it for Pulse episode 47. Remember to keep checking back here soon for more Diablo, World of Warcraft, and StarCraft news. I just wanted to give a huge thanks to Craft Chest for his wonderfully, amazingly heartfelt shout out to me. I really appreciate it, and all the subscribers that came over from the Craft Chest Nation. But back to this video, remember to like it, favorite it, share it, and subscribe, and most importantly though, I can't wait for the Diablo 3 beta.